Hi everybody, it's Chris Colley. I'm in the Rubber Room in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Create with Chris Live. I was just listening to some updates on our Statement Up Leader page, and wow, I'm very, very excited about our new catalog coming. If you are a demonstrator, we do get a sneak peek on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, our retirement list will be coming out and we'll get a peek at the new catalog. So if you are a customer and you normally get a catalog from me, let me know that you still want one. And if you don't have a demonstrator but would love a catalog, just let me know that also. I'm happy to get catalogs to everybody that needs them. They are full of amazing creative artwork. And so I'm excited about that. So we are going to have a retirement list coming out. Oh, I wanted to share just a couple of things that they shared with us today. I know many of you know that last January, February, March were celebration months. And I kind of like to see what's going on, who likes what. So I wrote down the best sellers for North America were: number 1, the Golden Honey Designer Series paper. Number 2, the Lily Impressions paper. And number 3, the Flowering Foils paper. So, and these numbers are just astonishing to me. The Golden Honey DSP sold a little over 107 million packs of paper. Is that crazy? No, I'm sorry, 107,000. It's like, oh my gosh. 107,000 packs of paper. Can you even begin to imagine? Wow. Globally, it was the Golden Honey DSP, and then the Lily Impressions DSP, and then number 3 was the Gangs All Mirror stamp set. So I think it says a lot about our Designer Series paper when it is the top 3 for celebration in North America. The top 3 were all our amazing papers. And you guys know I love our Designer Series paper. So that was really, really something, I thought. So and we're gonna jump right in. I'm gonna actually use some paper today. So I'm gonna do a 6x6 piece of paper, and this is a pattern that my friend Tammy Eckerson shared with me. And so we're gonna do what they call a one sheet wonder from our 6x6 piece of Designer Series paper. So I'll tilt you down as I get myself organized here. I'll tilt you down and you can see what's going on. I'm actually going to be using the Peaceful Moments stamp set and a couple of the framelits from the So Sentimental bundle. So hang on one second. Okay, so I'm going to aim to be right here. So this is the stamp set we're going to be using, and it is all sentiments, and I love that they combine the printing with the cursive writing. I think that that's really kind of an elegant look to it. And I did already die cut our pieces, but they came from this bundle. And this actually is the stamp set that I'm featuring in my Retiring in Color class this Thursday. I think you guys should be getting your packets today. So we're going to use these 2 framelits today for this one. And then we're going to use the Tropical Oasis Designer Series paper. And I did take a piece of 12 by 12 paper and cut it down into 4 6x6 pieces. Okay, so our first piece, let me get this turned around. I'm a lefty, so. So I have to be what would look like backwards to you, I'm assuming. So I'm going to get my scoring blade out of here, and I'm going to cut my piece of paper at 5 1/2. And going to cut a piece at 5 1/2 and 1 1/4. And then 5 1/2 by 2. And then this piece, if I've cut it right, is 2 3/4. And I'm going to cut it again at 2 3/4. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to cut it right down the middle. Okay? And then I'm actually going to be making 5 cards. So I'm going to score and cut my cardstock. When I made my 5 cards earlier, this was the piece that I had left over. So I'm just going to take a piece of cardstock, and 1 piece of cardstock will make 2 card bases. So I'm going to score it at 4 1/4, and I'm going to use my little gray one for that. And then I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2. I'm going to do the same thing with 1 more piece of paper. And we're actually today working with the in colors that are going to be retiring. So, do my scoring here. We have 5 in colors that will actually, the retirement list comes out on Wednesday. And this is one of the pieces that will be retiring, one of the colors that will be retiring. And it's Lovely Lipstick. And we're also going to use some Pineapple Crush. This is just a piece of white cardstock, and we're going to use that on all of our card fronts. So I'm going to cut it at 4 by 5 1/4. And I actually had one left from earlier, so I'm just going to need 4 pieces. Oh, and I think I want to come back and cut one of those other pieces thinner. I forgot about that. Okay, so we're just cutting these to 5 1/4. I love this new paper trimmer. It is so easy to use. And I love that it has these numbers right in here that I can use, and numbers over here I can use. It's got this little magnetic grip on it. Oops. See, I would be just lost. This is the little 1/4 inch strip, and I want to cut it in half. So I'm going to cut it at 3 inches. Can you guys see that? Oh yeah, I guess you can. Okay. These are super quick and easy cards. And again, you can go in and dress them up with, we have in color ribbons. We have in color gems. We have all kinds of in color pieces that you can go back and dress these up with if you want. Okay, so I'm going to take all 5 of my card bases, and I'm going to stamp my sentiments on them because I want to use my embossing folder. Let's turn some lights on here. And I want to be sure my sentiments are stamped before I put them through the embossing folder. Okay, this one we're going to leave blank because we're going to put our sentiment on here. So let's just... Wow. Okay, so this is a piece of Whisper White cardstock that I ran through with the dies. And I'm going to put a sympathy on here, I think. I normally would stamp my words on some scrap paper and then put them on here and cut it out after I get my words on there. But I was kind of hoping I could wing it and you wouldn't have to have the big shot over here today. So we're going to use this tufted embossing folder. Oh, gosh, I just had a brain, right? Okay, so we're going to use a thank you down here. And I'm using the Lovely Lipstick ink that matches our paper. And we'll do a happy birthday over here. And let's see what else we have there. We'll do this nice long one across here. This one says, life is better with a friend like you. And then this one says, these are the moments we look back on with joy. And I think that that's going to go down here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just kind of, so you can see here, I'm lining this up so that it's straight. So my cardstock is straight with the edge of my grid paper. And then when I line my block up, I know I'm going to make it a really straight image. Okay, I'm going to close this up. I'm just quickly going to clean my stamps, because if I do not clean them, I will for sure set something in them. So this is one of our chamois, and I've actually cut mine in half. You just get it wet, and you can clean your stamps right on it, and then you can take it and wash it. And it will get really dirty looking, but that's okay. It's still cleaning. So, and I store it right in one of our empty stamp cases. Super easy. Okay, so I'm going to take, let's do the tall ones with the tufted embossing folder. And I'm just going to bring my big shed in here. And I'm just going to put my cardstock, my white cardstock, sandwich inside my folder. And we're just going to use one purple plate. So we have our base and then just one purple plate on there. And you always want to be sure that you put your sentiment on first when you're going to emboss it, because if you don't, you're going to have to stamp on that embossed image. So you would have to stamp on it after it's embossed, and then your words aren't going to get down in those little nooks and crannies that the embossing folder makes. So let's do one more with this folder. And you do, these Stampin' Up's embossing folders have that nice line right there, so you can make sure your cardstock is in there straight. And you always want to put your embossing folder in with the folded edge going first. That creates less wear and tear on your embossing folder so that it's not going to break in half on you. If you have children that are home, these are really quick. You can use some, if they're younger, some of the Dino Roar paper. If you got some of the Celebration DSP, that was the bee, you could use some of that with the bee stamp set that coordinates with it, or the lilies. These are just, it's a quick, easy way to get lots of cards from one piece of paper and without a lot of products. Now this is the Hammered Metal 3D embossing folder, so that's going to give you kind of a metal look. And I'm just going to do the same thing, and I'm going to use this line as a guide to make sure my cardstock is in there correctly. And we'll do this one. And you can use any kind of embossing folder. You could use another piece of coordinating cardstock if you wanted to. You could even use the back of the Designer Series paper on there. Okay, so you actually, if you did this exactly like this, out of one sheet of paper, you would get 20 cards. So you're going to get 5 out of a quarter sheet, or 20 cards out of one piece of paper. That is an amazing return on your investment. 20 cards from one piece of Designer Series paper. Can you imagine how far your Designer Series paper would go? Okay, let's get to putting them together. We'll start with this one. And I'm just going to take my lovely lipstick, piece of cardstock, get a little burnished edge there. And I'm going to put down my back piece first, my second layer. And I think, I don't normally use my snail end to end, but when I'm doing something that's embossed like that, I like to give it good coverage with my snail so that it gets in all of those little nooks and crannies. Okay, so we have, these are the two pieces that I cut out with my die. I'm just going to layer those on top of each other. And I'm going to bring in some dimensionals and put those on the back. And I think I'll use just like a little line of 2 and then one on the top and the bottom. And remember that little tiny piece that I went back and cut in half? We're going to use that on the top and the bottom of this. So I'm going to put that sentiment right in the middle. And then go back for these two little pieces. I'll put one there. And one here. And you could actually, let's see if I can easily get this off. Yeah. I'll give you just a little bit of a, we'll take it off there. Just because it's, your one sheet wonder is really kind of, you can do it like this too. Okay, so you have that extra, you can do it either way with the same materials. Okay, so even though we're doing it this way, you still have a lot of options as to where you want to go. Where is, okay, so this one, let's do this long one. And I embossed these differently. So this is the debossed side. And then this happy birthday one is the embossed side. So you get a totally different look depending on how you use your embossing folder. So we'll go back, just burnish this piece, top it with our little layer. And then I'm going to use this white piece on the top of there. And again, you could use this side of the paper if you wanted to. You have lots of different ways that you can do this. And I'm going to leave just a little bit of that red lovely lipstick at the top. Okay? And you can see the difference in the embossing folders there. So you have one innie, one outie. All right, we'll grab another card base here. Burnish it. You could even do this with, and just make all birthday cards if you wanted to. We'll do this one. And I did my paper down in the middle on this one. So I think I'll bring it up right in here just for a little different variation on it. Maybe do it about 2/3 of the way up. So you can do it down lower or up higher. And get two different looks. This one, especially when you're doing it with your kids or with your friends, everybody starts off with the same basic pieces, and all of their cards are going to look different. They'll all have a little piece of their own heart in each of their creations, and that's a good thing. We like to make things our own so that they reflect who we are, how we feel, how we see things. Okay, so for these pieces, these are the 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and I cut a piece of pineapple punch paper, which is one of the in colors that's going to retire, at 3 by 3. So we'll just tape this on there. And again, I'm going to pop this up. Give it a little oomph to it. I know I saw Rosella on there, and I got a little video for my kids today. It looks like you guys are having excellent weather there, sunshine. We got a little bit of sunshine today, but not too much. So I'm hoping for more tomorrow. So you can put this right in the middle like this. You can go up or down. I'm going to kind of do it kitty wampus. So there's what it looks like straight up. And kitty wampus. This one, this stamp set was great because it had all different sentiments in it. And so you could just make lots of different cards or all this same card. I think during this time when we're all stuck inside, you could easily make tons of thinking of you cards and send those out. So again, we're just going to burnish our card base. And when these in color retirements are announced on Wednesday, they will go fast. So if you like these colors, I suggest you order them early because they will disappear. The good news about that is we are going to get some new colors. So it's kind of out with the old and in with the new. And Stampin' Up! Always has the most trendy colors for us to pick from. So that's a good thing. We like that. And I think I'll do the same thing with this one and just kind of make it go a little kitty wampus. I love those flowers, you guys. Do you think that flower actually looks a little bit three-dimensional to me? It just looks like you could just feel how soft it is. So I absolutely love it. I'm a designer series paper freak, right? Okay, let's get you guys back up here. Get some lights off. Those lights make terrible. I don't know that it's sprinkler. My granddaughter actually had her sweatshirt on. She got a scooter, so she was giving a scooter lesson. You have to put both of your hands on the handlebars, and one leg goes off to the side. I'm thinking she probably wanted her dad to get on there, and she had to teach him how to use it first. But I'm glad that it's so nice there when your kids are home like that, and it's so nice for them to be able to get outside. I know here in Michigan that it's being outside is like something that we treasure at this point because we really are supposed to be inside, and after 6 weeks of being inside, it gets a little tough. You need some air. So hi, Terry. I'm glad you're watching. I'm sure you're seeing your grandkids a lot. And Deborah, I'm glad you're watching. You guys in Flint are really being hit hard, especially in your nursing homes, and I'm very sad to hear that. So, but I am keeping all of you in my prayers because this is a really difficult time for all of us, and I hope in some small way that crafting with me on Monday nights is helping you out, bringing a smile to your face, and I hope you'll be back here next Monday. Okay, thanks. Bye bye.